Hello everyone. The question whether Africa will ever be entirely free from inside squabbling between nations stays ever complex. Just look at what is happening in Sahel, the Lake Chad Basin, the Horn of Africa, Rwanda, Uganda, and several international mercenaries, all either looting resources or simply frustrating the citizens. The world is currently watching the Democratic Republic of Congo being looted of all its resources. The neighboring countries such as Rwanda and Uganda feel they have every right to take whatever resources they can get in Congo. Then there are other mercenaries operating on behalf of international companies, all coming to loot whatever they can get in Congo. They keep talking about a united Africa. It is hard to see any kind of unity in Africa. America, Europe, Russia, and China are all taking advantage of African disunity to the full. Let us turn to Rwanda. The Rwandan President Paul Kagame has always expressed his readiness to engage in conflict with the Democratic Republic of Congo if necessary. This follows accusations from Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi, who claimed that Rwanda is orchestrating a genocide in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Kagame has responded by stating that Rwanda is prepared to defend itself and is not afraid of conflict. The situation is quite tense, with both countries accusing each other of various hostilities. Kagame has also emphasized the need to go to the root causes of the regional tensions. In the meantime, the Rwandan army was taken by surprise by the DRC army, with a loss of many Rwandan army personnel. President Kagame has expressed deep concern and sorrow over the loss of Rwandan soldiers in the ongoing conflicts. He has often emphasized the importance of their sacrifice for the security and stability of Rwanda. Kagame has also highlighted the need for strong and capable military to defend the Rwanda against external threats and to maintain peace in the region. Despite the losses, Kagame remains resolute in his stance on defending Rwanda's interests and addressing the root causes of regional instability. He has called for continued efforts to strengthen the military and improve regional cooperation to prevent further conflicts. The Democratic Republic of Congo is facing conflicts involving a significant number of rebel groups. Estimates suggest there are between 120 to 140 rebel groups operating in the country, primarily in the resource-rich eastern regions. Some sources even indicate that there could be more than 250 local groups and 14 foreign armed groups active in the area. These groups vary widely in their objectives, size, and affiliations, contributing to the ongoing instability and humanitarian crisis in the region. In the meantime, there are ongoing peace negotiations between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. The talks are being mediated by Angola and are part of the Luanda process. Both countries have expressed their willingness to resume discussions, although they have set conditions. However, lasting peace remains elusive. There is plenty of blame to go around when it comes to DRC. Thoughtful experts have emphasized the importance of applying more pressure on Rwanda to stop backing the M23 insurgency. The strategy of using international leverage has worked before, and while Kigali has made headway in its attempt to become an indispensable security partner on the continent, and therefore beyond reproach, it is not yet untouchable. According to reports, Rwanda has been crossing the border into the Democratic Republic of Congo. Others have stressed that Kinshasa's failures are ultimately to blame for the seemingly endless insecurity in the East. They are right too. The central government has too often been both deeply corrupt and profoundly incompetent. Efforts for the Democratic Republic of Congo to professionalize the military have largely failed to overcome the misaligned economic incentives and factionalism that too often render it ineffective. Greed and corruption is bleeding Africa dry. Please let us take a listen to the video.
Today let me update you on the situation in Congo. Now, on 22nd of August, M23 moved towards the town of Masisi and captured the smaller village of Kisuma. So they captured that village, and then they started moving equipment from Nyanzare towards Drukichanga to now this new location, Kisuma. And that's when they were ambushed by a coalition of the Congolese FRDC and the local Wazalendo. So according to their reports, is that close to 90 M23 fighters, and these are not just M20, these are Rwandan troops, that those are the ones who are interested in that region, were killed in the process. And this has angered the regime in Kigali, because what happened, and this is now the story, is that the M23 got too comfortable. So what the Congolese army and the Wazalendo have been doing, they've been pretending that they've accepted the M23 to come there. So they kind of retreated. They kind of stopped attacking them. Basically, they just pretended to accept these new soldiers from a neighboring country to stay there. And that's how it has been, or it has been looking. Until now, 2 days later, that is last week, they ambushed this huge convoy of several vehicles, killed 90 of these fighters. The rest ran away, others were injured. But 90, the bodies, I saw photos, the bodies were totaling around 90. So many of them. I've never seen Rwandan troops killed in large numbers in Congo. Like, it's been a while since we saw this kind of total number of corpses, dead soldiers on the roadside, in the bush, everywhere. And this happened around in Kichanga. Also, it happened later in Tongo, which is not far from Kichanga. And this has now made the president of Rwanda to fire almost the whole top-ranking group of his army. So from this story, as you can see, the Rwanda president has fired military chiefs in his latest purge. So the Rwandan president has sacked senior military officers in the latest purge. Now, if you read the story, some of the reasons given, one of the officers, a very top general who has been in that army for the last 30 years, 40 years actually, who was fired because they're saying he gets drunk too much or drunk too often. So I'm like, all the generals drink whatever they want. They drink alcohol. That's what they do. And their job is simple, basically to attend meetings, high-ranking meetings with the president, and then to stamp and sign documents. They don't do much. They don't do more. That's what the generals do. So definitely if he's going to a meeting with the president, he makes sure he's sober. But most of the time generals drink. If they drink, they drink. They drink everywhere. So that's not a reason enough to fire him. And then he fired another one for what he called insubordination, saying that he doesn't respect orders. Someone else was fired because he violated military regulations. I don't know which one are those. Others, he said they were corrupt. He fired them because they were corrupt. You can't be corrupt in Kagame's government. It's not easy, so I doubt that. So he has fired, according to the report, 228 soldiers. All of them officers, most of them. These are people who went to the army through the cadet. You know, the army is usually two groups. There's the service men. These are the guys who fight. And then there's the cadet. These are guys who go to study for degrees and diplomas before they are given ranks or positions in the army. So the cadet, he fired the cadet, not the soldiers. And the reason for that was because of this attack in Kichanga, where they lost 90 troops. They lost heavy equipment. Now, the other thing I heard was that among the things that they lost was an expensive anti-aircraft radar and surface-to-air system. So they lost it. It was in Kichanga. They lost it. And today, actually, if you go to through the internet, is that one Sukhoi, Sukhoi is a jet, one Su-25, is it Su-24, 25? Su-25, the Sukhois, the jet, was seen flying over Goma. It was also spotted in Masisi and over Kichanga for the first time in almost 8 months. The reason being the surface-to-air missile that we saw and talked about like 8 months ago was one of the equipment that were destroyed when this ambush took place in Kichanga. So it was also the reason why the Sukhois, the ones that Congo was flying, were not being spotted above the region where there's these Rwandan troops. So after the confirmation that the radar system, the surface-to-air radar system was destroyed, that's when now you're seeing the Sukhoi coming back. So it's big. And the system that was destroyed there is worth a lot of money. They bought it from China, but it's just worth a lot of money. Yeah, it is worth, according to some reports, close to $100 million. I don't know, but it's a lot of money. Probably the most expensive equipment in that region. So it was destroyed, and this has led the Rwandan dictator into kind of a rage where he's firing every top ranking officer in his own army, including family members or people who are in-laws, people who have married daughters from his own family. He has fired them because he doesn't now care. It is all hands on deck. It is no strings attached. It's like everything. He doesn't care because the news of losing that service to air system kind of has made him or turned him into a rage that has never been witnessed in Rwanda in the last probably 10 years. So he has fired them. That's the story. He has fired them, and the story goes that someone else called Kano Uwimana was dismissed. He was the one doing the record at the Kanombe military hospital. Basically, he's the one who was in charge of recording the troops that come in dead. So he was also fired because I think he made a report showing the exact numbers of the troops who are coming from Congo in body bags, body bags. So he was fired because he's doing the record. He has to enter the name, say, putting the name Paul Kagame, service number 5421, dead in Congo. So he was fired because of reporting the truth or doing his job. And so many other people have been fired, dismissed, accused of drinking, accused of corruption. Yes, you can see like this one. He's saying that one of his general, he was fired because of drunkenness. Another one, drug abuse. I don't know what that means. So he's saying that his generals are taking weed, or they're taking cocaine. And then another one, basically he's firing them on funny reasons because of what happened in Congo, including a doctor who was in a hospital near Kanombe. This is where they have the military hospital that they bring these bodies from Congo to bury them. So he was in charge. He had a long service record at this hospital. He was in charge of basically entering the name into the death certificates of these soldiers, and he was fired because of that. It's crazy. Kindly go to the comment section below and let us discuss this.